So when we install the CRM Accelerate, it comes with 4 different roles. It comes with sales manager, sales rep, marketing manager, and support manager as well. So now I'm logged in as a sales manager, and basically the big difference between sales manager and the sales rep is that the sales manager has this tab, My Team. In here, the sales manager, they can monitor how it's going for the rest of the team or for his team. At the top here, we have a team activity scorecard. If you are measuring how many phone calls your sales reps are doing each week, so we can set up a budget for that, so we can see if they are. This is the budget, and this is the completed phone call. So one search against the phone call budget and one against the actual phone calls done and registered in NetSuite. Then you see the fulfillment. The same thing with meeting budget and completed meeting and the meeting fulfillment. Then of course we have a team sales scorecard as well. So we have a team sales budget, and then we see the actual result as well here, the actual sales, and then the result. We also measure created opportunities and created estimates, so that the sales manager directly from here can see how it is going for the team. The sales manager also have the sales rep report. So here they can choose a sales rep in the list here, and then they just click on generate, and then they will see the sales report here. And if I just take a look what it's showing, it says sales versus budget, sales versus budget last month, activities done. They can see the top 5 sales, the customers for this sales rep. Now it's not a lot of data in this demo environment, so I only have 2 customers connected to this sales rep. Sales ranking, so he can see how this sales rep is compared to the other sales reps at the company. Sales by sales rep, what has been invoiced, not yet billed sales orders, open estimates, open opportunities. This is also, we calculate the forecast, and then we can see this the current, how it's current and how it was previous period, and the change from previous. Also measuring lead conversion, lead to customers, completed phone calls, completed events, and total number of activities, so that the sales manager easily can see how it is going per sales rep. As a sales manager, you also have the possibility here to see sales analysis, different reports. You can set up a budget. I can just show you, and we have built our own budget module actually, because in NetSuite you have the possibility to set up sales budget, forecast budgets. But with NetSuite, you can only see in sales reports. But we want to use those budgets to be able to see in the KPI scorecards, where we only can use saved searches to compare one budget with an actual result, and we want to measure it in the way we want to. So we have created our own budget module here, and with this budget module, just quickly show you, then you have the possibility to create a budget per employee, per class, per contact, per customer, department, location. You can set up your own budget type. So we have set up for meetings, sales manager team meeting budget, and so on. You can create for different custom records if you like. So if you have something special that you want to measure, to set up a budget for, then you can choose that record in NetSuite and set up a budget for it. And as you can see now, when I click on, for instance, if we click on sales rep, sales budget here, then the employee field opens up here. So this field here is connected to, okay, this is a sales rep budget. Sales rep is an employee. So then we open up the employee record here. But if it would have been the class record, for instance, or location, then we see the location record here instead. So sales rep phone budget. I choose an employee, Eniente, and then I choose a period. And you can choose day, week, month, year, or quarter. So if I take per week, then I just choose the start date here, Monday, the 1st of January, the 2nd of January, and then I take a Sunday in December, and it's a phone call budget. So 52 weeks times 10 meetings per week and the phone calls per week, 520. I save that. It gives it a name automatically. So it's the sale phone budget for Eniente and the week here. So it's clear what we have a budget for. And then we just click on update here. Then we create all the budget rows automatically. So this pretty much works the same way as NetSuite forecast budgetation is working. And then of course here, if I click on edit here, you can go in and change row by row here if you like. So the header here is just to distribute the numbers evenly amongst all the weeks that is in the budget. And then if I can close this, and if we go back here, and the only thing that we do in the budget here, we have a search in the background that is fetching the budget rows, and that's how we get it into the saved search. And that is we are using in the KPI scorecards, and we use it in the reports as well. So this is basically what the sales manager can do, and they also have the possibility here to set up sales setup. They can set up sales territories and territory reassignments. They can create groups and do some mass updates, set sales rules. So those are just standard functionalities that we think that the sales manager should work with. So that's the sales manager. The rest of the flow here is basically the same for a sales manager and for the team. And I will just quickly open this picture here. What we are doing in this setup, basically this is a generic picture of a customer life cycle. So this is where the cycle is starting. You have a target group, basically everyone that your company wants to do business with. If you sell cars, everyone with a driving license basically is your target group. So those are the targets. But even though you have a big target group, you don't want to bring them all into NetSuite. You only want to bring in the leads that you want to work with, and you cannot bring in them all at the same time because you of course want to bring in as many leads as you can work with in a certain period. And the leads, when you bring them in, you are doing a qualification, and it's important to have a structured way to do this qualification. So that is something I'm going to show you. Those two bubbles that we have here, those two steps, I will go through under the lead dashboard. So I have a specific dashboard for this part of the process. When you have qualified the lead, hopefully it will end up in that you find a business opportunity for that customer. And the business opportunity you have to qualify. When you have qualified the business opportunity, you can create a quote. When you have created a quote and the customer wants to buy from you, you create a contract or a sales order. So those 4 bubbles that we have here, that's the pipeline. We have a specific pipeline board for that as well. When you have sold something to the customer, you have to deliver it, and you can also offer the customer service for what you have delivered. So we have that bubble here, that's the delivery and service process, a part of the process. And when they have become a customer, you want, of course, have a structured way to keep getting in contact with the customers, so hopefully you can do some upsell. And that we have under accounts here. For all of those steps, you probably book meetings, you book phone calls with the customers, calendar events, and those we have here up under the to-do part of the process. So this is how we have structured. We have tried to mimic the process here with with different dashboards up at the top here. But I will start with the lead. So this is our lead dashboard. And what we on basically all of those process steps here, we have a reminder up in the left corner where we are showing reminders that has to do with the lead process. Secondly, here we have what we call ongoing and planned campaign. This is info to the sales team and basically the rest of the organization. So if you have a marketing team working with campaigns in NetSuite or outside of NetSuite for that matter as well, but we create a campaign in NetSuite to be able, for the marketing team to be able to inform the rest of the organization about what they are currently doing and what campaigns are going on. So a little bit of description here, and they can also put in a link to customer online form or to a campaign form in some way, so that the sales team can read about what the marketing team is doing, so they can use that information. And the same way, but the opposite direction, the rest of the organization have the possibility to add a marketing request. So this is basically to create a request to the marketing department. Can you please launch a campaign about this? Or can you help me update the mail footer with the new logo that we have, because we haven't done that. So this is a way for the rest of the organization to send in a request to the marketing team. And then the marketing team can take those requests and work with them in a structured way, because this is often a problem that there's no communication between marketing team and the rest of the organization. Okay, so the next what we have here is a Dun & Bradstreet Connects. This is a prospecting tool that you can use. You are located in UK. So this is just an example. So as you can see here, this connector works for 21 countries in Europe. It's only for Europe. So I've chosen Sweden here. I've chosen activity code. That's a branch code. So you can choose that. You can drill it down to more details like this. Then you can choose county. If this would have been in UK, you would have different counties than in Sweden, of course. I've chosen Stockholm in this case. Then you can choose municipality, number of employees, turnover, if that is something you would like to add, as well as a filter. And then you can choose a position or several positions at the company. I want to speak with the CEO. And then you click on search, and then it does a search against the Dun & Bradstreet's database and brings up the companies that you have filtered for. And then you can choose if you want to cancel like this. I take mark all and then choose a sales rep. I want them to be assigned to me, or I can do it one by one like this. Lead status, that's the same thing. I want them to come in as marketing qualified. And lead source, is this part of a specific campaign, or did you just download them from Dun & Bradstreet and then you mark them like that, and then you just click on import them into NetSuite. Then it's a background job that will import them, and they will end up in your lead dashboard. So this is like a prospecting tool that you can use to bring in new leads that you can work with. The lead dashboard, in standard NetSuite, when you work with lead, you have 4 different statuses. You have unqualified and qualified. We didn't think that was sufficient, so we added a couple of two more ones, and then also renamed the other ones, the unsubscribed, unqualified and qualified. So what we have here now is marketing qualified, pending sales qualification, subscriber, and inactivated. And marketing qualified basically means you have imported them through Dun & Bradstreet and put them in here. You have it could be leads that you have received from your web form, or you have imported them via a CSV import from a trade show or something like that. In this case, the lead is this is the information you have about lead, and if you're as a sales rep are interested in starting working with this lead, you just move them over to pending sales qualification, just to mark that you have assigned this lead to yourself. And now the lead is in the status pending sales qualification. You have not yet qualified them, so those are the ones that you are currently working with. If you call the customer and they say, "Oh, I'm not sure how you got in touch with me, but I'm not interested at all," you can move them over to inactivated. If the customer is interested in your services or products, but the timing is a little bit off, maybe in a year, then you just move them over to subscriber. That's a signal to the marketing department also that they can send out newsletters and things like that once a quarter. And then you can just put in schedule a phone call so that you remind yourself that, okay, they are interested, but first next year, then you can just put in a phone call and then put in a get back the customer is interested. Something like that. So you have a reminder for yourself. You can put in a reminder, standard NetSuite. Like that. And then I just click on save. Then I have scheduled a phone call for myself to do in 1 year, so I remember to call this customer. Or if the customer just wants information, just click on email, use the email templates like this and send an email to the customer. And this is standard, as you see, the phone calls and the emails and everything, that's just standard NetSuite. We have just made it very easy directly from the dashboard to do a lot of different tasks. In best case scenario, this customer, they are interested, and then you can create an opportunity, estimate, or sales order directly from here. In this case, I would just click on the opportunity. And we always recommend, I'm not sure if you do it today, but we always recommend to work with opportunities because if you do that, then it's very easy for the sales rep to get all the deals into NetSuite, because working with deals like this, just put in interested in our service, just the title. You can put in the details if you like, and then you just put in the projected total, and basically then you can save it. And so there's no excuse for the sales team to register all the deals, because it only takes 15 seconds to register the deal. But of course, the more details you can put in, the better. So if you want to put in some comments from the customer, do that. Have you found a decision maker? Have you identified the customer's needs? Do they have the budget? And is the timing correct? If you have the answer to all of those questions, you're probably ready to send out a proposal to the customer. But if you don't have the answer to those questions, you probably have a little bit of a homework to do and more meetings to set up with the customer. So the timing we haven't identified in this case. So I just click on save here. What will happen now when I create an opportunity for a lead in NetSuite, and that's the standard functionality. The lead itself, in this case, Geneforce Consulting AB, they were here at one moment ago. They are now transformed to a prospect, so they now disappear from the lead board here. So they are no longer a lead. So we have taken them to the next step. So basically, this is the lead board and how we work with it. Up here, we also have a couple of KPIs, hot leads from web, so we can see how many leads came in from an online form that we have. New leads this week, days before qualification, lost leads. Those are just KPIs. We are using information on the cards here to calculate different KPIs. And what you choose to have in the KPIs here, it's of course configurable. So, and the status is also configurable, so you can choose that yourself. But this is our best practice and how we deliver the CRM Accelerate when we implement it. Under leads here, you can of course create new leads. You can do CSV imports, and you can see campaigns directly from the lead board. So when we have created an opportunity or an estimate for a lead or a sales order, we will see that in the pipeline board. Under the pipeline, the same thing here. We have a reminder up in the left corner, remind us about things that has to do with this part of the process, pipeline, opportunities, estimates, sales orders. We have a sales scorecard. So this is the sales rep's own scorecard, so he can see how it is going for him. So this is my sales budget for this month. The actual sales I've done so far. So as you can see, the result is great this month for me. Number of created opportunities and number of created estimates. Down here, I see the different opportunities and estimates and sales orders that I have. We have, in this setup, we have restricted the use of the statuses a little bit more than in NetSuite. In NetSuite, you can use all of those statuses for an opportunity, but we have restricted opportunities to the first two columns here. So opportunity identified and qualifying. So, and from here, I can move it one step to the right and back and forth if I would like that, but I cannot move it to proposal here. The way for me to move an opportunity from qualifying to proposal is for me to go in here and create an estimate. And the difference between an opportunity and an estimate is on the estimate, you would have to add the item rows on the transaction, that you are not forced to do that on the opportunity. So that's the big difference. So to be able to move it there, I will have to create an estimate. And what happens then is that the opportunity changes state to estimate issued, and then we will hide it from this pipeline, and then we will see the estimate instead. So we don't bring in, we only want to see basically one card per deal, so that the numbers up here for the weighted pipeline amount and the total pipeline amount is correct. So we don't add them both in those numbers. The weighted pipeline value, you can see here, we have a total and we have the weighted amount. And the weighted amount, that's the total times the probability of the deal. So then we see the weighted, and then we see here up here, when you have been working with the weighted with the probability for a while, then this number here should be quite accurate. So you know, if you have 10 deals and you win 1 out of 10, this should mirror basically what you have in the weighted amount. So you know that this is what we will probably end up with in the end of the month. But this is the total. So if we win all of them, this is the amount that we're going to get. Some other functionalities that we can have on the card, we can put in directly here. We can put in comments if you would like that directly from the board. You can click on the links that we add on the board, so then you can open up directly the customer record. The same thing here, you have the ability to create emails, tasks, phone calls, and so on directly from the board. On the left side here, you see the color here. We can put in different color codes on the side, positive feedback, follow up this week, but this is just configurable. So you can choose and add as many color codes as you like to be able to, it's more visual for you to find the cards this way. And then you can also use the filter up here. So if I want to see the red ones, I do that, and the green ones, so it's easy for me to find them. You have the textual search here as well. So if I put in training, I can find all the cards that has the word training in them. And it doesn't have just to be in the header here. It could be any value that you have on the card that you can search for. You can also create different kinds of filter here with the filtering functionality. So for instance, if I want to see a specific sales rep, I can choose here any of. myself, my team, unassigned, and a specific. As a sales rep, you will not be able to choose any other sales reps probability if you want to restrict that. But as a sales manager, you should of course be able to see everyone in your team. So that's a restriction that you can set. But you can also use other filters here, due date, for instance, this month or something like that. So it's easy for you to find them. And you also see that we have the flag up here, and that is, you can set up different flag colors depending on, in this case, expected close date past. So this is a demo environment, so they are not really updated, the different deals. So they have basically all of them have past due date. But then it also makes it very clear for the users what needs to be done on each deal here. So basically, this is the pipeline, and if the deals that you win, they get into this column 1, but we only show here what has been won the current month here. Otherwise, eventually it will be too many in this list. So this is the pipeline board. You, of course, from the menu here also have the possibility to create opportunities and look at all opportunities, all the estimates, and create sales orders and watch all the sales orders here. Let's say that you have won a deal here, then you will see all the deals under delivery and services. Same thing here, we have reminders about sales and deliveries. Here we have all the deals that this sales rep has done. And you can see the customer and the color codes. We love to work with color codes just to make it more visual for the users. Green means billed, light green, pending billing, pending fulfillment, partially fulfilled, pending approval, and closed or cancelled. So this makes it very clear for the user if there's something that they need to take action on. For instance, for a sales rep, it has not yet been approved by my manager. What is happening here? Have they forgot to approve it? Or if it has been closed or cancelled? And then we also show open cases. So if you are using the support module in NetSuite, then you can see all the tickets that has come in. And then in this case, the sales rep see support tickets that are assigned to any customer that they are the sales rep for, so that they have that information directly on the dashboard. And here they can create new cases, and they have linked to documents and templates to the file cabinet, basically. Under accounts, the sales manager, they can see all their customers. And same thing here, we have color codes, and the color codes, we are using the last sales activity, the standard function in NetSuite, basically, and that is something that you can configure depending on what you want to update the last sales activity. But phone calls, meetings, emails that you have sent out to the customer, when you do that, that updates the last sales activity on the customer. And you can also choose if it's just the sales reps activities that should count, or if it's any employee's activity with that sales with that customer. But anyway, here you see with the color codes, when were we in contact with the customer the last time? So if it's green, if it was the last 90 days, 91 to 180 days, it's orange, and more than 180 days, then it's red. So this also gives the sales rep directly a visual overview if it's something that they need to take action on, basically. And it's the same thing with the reminders here, if it's something that we need to be reminded about. Here you can create contacts, create leads, prospects, and customers. You can see the sales by customer, that's the standard sales rep report. And here sales activity by customers, that's also a standard report that we're using. We go to the to-do dashboard. So as I said, working with the customers in the different steps that we have here generates probably meetings and phone calls that we need to do. In this view, you have the calendar view for this week. You have for a month here, standard functionality. You have reminders up here. You have the activity scorecard here. This is this sales rep's phone call budget, number of completed phone calls and the fulfillment, and the meeting budget and the number of completed meetings those past 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and so on. Down here, we have the phone call board. This is every card here represents a phone call in NetSuite. This is a phone call, or I was not supposed to. This is a phone call that is supposed to be called today. Phone call date is today. And this is tomorrow. So I call the customer and he says, sorry, I'm in a meeting. Can you please call me tomorrow instead? Then I can just move it over till tomorrow and the phone call date will be updated to the 17th. Tomorrow when I log in, this phone call will be here. If I don't call the customer, then it will end up in due. So it's easy for me to see in this dashboard if I have done the phone calls I was supposed to do. And the same thing here, you can go in and change organizer if you would like to do that. You can put in a comment from your phone call in here directly on the board, so you don't have to go in and open the board. But if you want to do it, you can go in, open the phone call, and then of course, when you're done with it, you put it in completed and put in a comment like that, and then just save it. So that's the phone call board. Down here, we have a task board, tasks that you have assigned to yourself or someone else has assigned to you, things that you are supposed to do. And then you can just, when you're working with it, you move it to in progress. And when you're done, you move it to completed. And it's the same thing here. You can see all the information, what you're supposed to do. And then you can, write comments and stuff like that. So basically, this is the sales rep and the sales manager setup that we have. If I just quickly move over to marketing manager, then we have a dashboard which is for campaigns. The same thing, basically, we show the campaigns that is ongoing and the information that they have given to the rest of the organization. But here they have the marketing request board. So if the employees put in a request, it will end up here in the marketing request board so that the marketing team know what is going on and what they are supposed to do. Up here, can create groups. They can create new marketing campaigns, sales campaigns. They can see a lot of different marketing analysis reports. They can do the setup for everything that has to do with campaigns. So basically all the standard functionality that a marketing wants to have. Under documents and templates, here they can work with the different email templates, marketing templates. So if they want to create a new template, for instance, here, they can do it via one of those templates that is provided by NetSuite standard. Marketing team is often involved in finding new leads. So the same thing here, we have the Dun & Bradstreet connector here, so that the marketing team can help the rest of the organization finding new leads. And that therefore we also show the lead board for them so that they can easily see which sales reps has enough with leads to work with and which hasn't, so they can help them import new leads directly from here. So basically, this is the marketing team's dashboard, and they also have this to-do dashboard that I showed for the sales manager. The last role that is included is the support role, and basically we are using the standard support cases, but we also show here different KPIs for the support team. So new cases assigned to me, closed cases by me, closing ratio, number of support cases by customer. So, and they can, of course, if the customer calls via the phone, then they can create a new case directly from here, fast and easy. Here they see all the support tickets that is currently logged into the system, and then just if it's a new case, it ends up in not started. They move it over to in progress, then they get assigned to that case, and then they can continue working with that case directly from here. go into the company, the contact. They can put in quick notes here. They can answer the customer directly from here via email. They can see the whole email dialogue that they have had with the customer directly from here. They can add time to the support case if that's something that you are measuring directly from here as well. So this role is a little bit restricted. It just has to do with the different cases that we have. And down here you can see you can also see a list of different support cases if you prefer to work with them in a list instead of in a board like this. So basically this is the standard setup that we have for the customer, or for the CRM Accelerate.